It's not normal for the world to simply have a unipolar power. That was an anomaly. It was the product of the end of the Cold War. But eventually you were going to reach back to a point where you had a multipolar world, great powers in different parts of the planet. We face that now with China and to some extent, Russia.
The post-war global order is not just obsolete, it is now a weapon being used against us. When the US Secretary of State declares a system America itself created is obsolete, something fundamental has changed. Let's examine what the data says about this shift. Ray Dalio's Power Index measures relative strength between global powers across a range of key metrics. The US maintains clear advantages in military power, education, and financial markets. China leads in trade and competitiveness. But the most revealing metric is growth rate. China's growth dramatically outpaces both the US and Eurozone, creating an unsustainable equation for maintaining global dominance. Traditional power metrics start with military projection. The US maintains approximately 750 military bases across 80 countries, a network built during the Cold War at tremendous cost. China's military presence looks different. According to Pentagon reports, China maintains somewhere around 41 significant domestic military installations, but fewer than 10 foreign bases. However, the Foundation for Defensive Democracy's research reveals a changing picture. China is pursuing what the FDD calls the largest military buildup since World War II, with an expansion of its global military access. In Argentina, a secretive 50-year agreement established a Chinese deep space station in Neuquén province, operated by a division reporting to the PLA's Strategic Support Force. In Cuba, just 90 miles from Florida, China has maintained intelligence collection capabilities since 2019, with recent agreements to expand this presence, potentially allowing monitoring of US military communications. While still vastly outmatched by American military presence, China's approach focuses on strategic choke points and intelligence capabilities rather than overwhelming force projection. When we shift to economic influence, the balance of power looks dramatically different. This map shows each country's leading trading partner in 2024. China dominates as the top trading partner for 128 nations, compared to just 57 for the US. Throughout Africa, Asia, the Middle East, and much of South America, China has established itself as the primary economic relationship. China's Belt and Road Initiative represents a systematic approach to economic influence. Over $932 billion has been invested across 147 countries since 2013. The Hambantota port in Sri Lanka demonstrates how economic leverage translates to strategic advantage. Following Sri Lanka's difficulty repaying Chinese loans, China secured a 99-year lease on the port in 2017.
Government has signed an agreement with China on the development of Hambantota port. Under the deal inked Saturday, China Merchants Port Holdings owns a 70% stake of the port and will manage its operations.
This economic foothold gives China significant influence over local policy decisions and provides a strategic presence along critical shipping lanes. To comprehensively measure this power shift, the Global Influence Index synthesizes 28 distinct measures across economic, political, and security dimensions for 191 countries. The resulting visualization clearly demonstrates a multipolar world. When viewed collectively, recent US actions form a coherent pattern: reducing foreign aid commitment, withdrawing from international agreements, renegotiating defense obligations, and imposing tariffs even on traditional allies.
What that means, or true multipolarity, another term that they use, and that means they don't want a US-led world. They want a multipolar world.
The question is how nations adapt to this new reality, and global leadership is increasingly shared rather than dominated. Sachs outlines two possible futures. One where nuclear superpowers continue fighting unsuccessfully for hegemony, leading to a breakdown of fragile international rules in an uncertain, crisis-ridden world. The alternative is major powers cooperating under the UN Charter, with tolerance and restraint, because only such statesmanship will keep the world safe in the nuclear age.